Let's take a look at an introduction. Florence Kelley was born in 1859, and she led a fascinating life. She was educated at Cornell University, and she dedicated her life to social issues. Now, this is at a time where most women were not educated past elementary school. But she fought for women's rights and to protect children, forcing states to adopt child labor laws. She was a founding member of the NAACP. She gave this speech to the National American Women's Suffrage Association in Philadelphia on July 22, 1905. It'd be 15 more years before the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. So you need to start with a powerful opening. We have in this country 2 million children under the age of 16 years who are earning their bread. They vary in age from 6 and 7 years in the cotton mills of Georgia and 8, 9, and 10 years in the coal breakers of Pennsylvania to 14, 15, and 16 years in more enlightened states. No other portion of the wage-earning class increased so rapidly from decade to decade as the young girls from 14 to 20 years. Men increase, women increase, youth increase, boys increase in the ranks of the breadwinners, but no contingent so doubles from census period to census period, both by percent and by count of heads, as does the contingent of girls between 12 and 20 years of age. They are in commerce, in offices, in manufacturing. Tonight, while we sleep, several thousand little girls will be working in textile mills all the night through, in the deafening noise of the spindles and the looms spinning and weaving cotton and wool, silks and ribbons for us to buy. Listen to the cadence of that. Let's take a closer look at it. Look at her opening line. She uses a startling statement. 2 million children, and then she follows it up with a progression of examples. Look at her arrangement. Not only does she use age, 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10 to 14, 15, and 16, but she also moves geographically, and by the end of the speech, no one in the audience is left untouched. She makes sure that everyone knows that they buy the products made by these tiny hands. Now, look at her specificity of language and how it creates the tone. There's not a wasted word in here. And she often uses alliteration to be able to get the sound of the words to have more of a cadence. And for my music people in here, really think about that. Your words have a musicality to them. And the way you get to that is by practicing. After you get your content down, then you begin to play with your word choice and your word order. And that's that sophistication, that next step in the writing process. All right, how do we start an introduction? Well, there's lots of different ways. You can use a startling statement and a shocking statistic like Florence Kelley did. Personal narratives are also very powerful ways to start. Visual rhetoric, an image designed to grab the audience. And don't be afraid to use silence. Put that picture up. Count to 5. Let your silence draw your audience in. You might use a powerful quotation. You might use humor as well, but be very cautious of that. Now, on my YouTube channel, I've got some examples of that. You might check those out. Here is a personal narrative by Randy Pausch. his last lecture at Carnegie Mellon University went viral, and it helped to launch the TED Talk phenomenon. So check out the introduction. Now, he spoke for over an hour, so his introduction is longer than what you will do.
Make me earn it. It's wonderful to be here. What Indira didn't tell you is that this lecture series used to be called The Last Lecture. If you had one last lecture to give before you died, what would it be? I thought, damn, I finally nailed the venue, and they renamed it. So, in case there's anybody who wandered in and doesn't know the backstory, my dad always taught me when there's an elephant in the room, introduce them. If you look at my CAT scans, there are approximately 10 tumors in my liver, and the doctors told me 3 to 6 months of good health left. That was a month ago, so you can do the math. I have some of the best doctors in the world. So that is what it is. We can't change it, and we just have to decide how we're going to respond to that. We cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand. If I don't seem as depressed or morose as I should be, sorry to disappoint you. And I assure you, I am not in denial. It's not like I'm not aware of what's going on. My family, my 3 kids, my wife, we just decamped. We bought a lovely house in Chesapeake, Virginia, near Norfolk, and we're doing that because that's a better place for the family to be down the road. And the other thing is I am in phenomenally good health right now. I mean, it's the greatest thing of cognitive dissonance you will ever see is the fact that I am in really good shape. In fact, I'm in better shape than most of you. So anybody who wants to cry or pity me can come down and do a few of those, and then you may pity me. All right, so what we're not talking about today, we're not talking about cancer, because I've spent a lot of time talking about that, and I'm really not interested. If you have any herbal supplements or remedies, please stay away from me. And we're not going to talk about things that are even more important than achieving your childhood dreams. We're not going to talk about my wife, we're not talking about my kids, because I'm good, but I'm not good enough to talk about that without tearing up. So we're just going to take that off the table. That's much more important. And we're not going to talk about spirituality and religion, although I will tell you that I have experienced a deathbed conversion. I just bought a Macintosh. Now, I knew I'd get 9% of the audience with that, but... All right, so what is today's talk about then? It's about my childhood dreams and how I've achieved them. I've been very fortunate that way. How I believe I've been able to enable the dreams of others. And to some degree, lessons learned. I'm a professor. There should be some lessons learned. And how you can use the stuff you hear today to achieve your dreams or enable the dreams of others. And as you get older, you may find that enabling the dreams of others thing is even more fun. So what were my childhood dreams?
I challenge you to go out to AmericanRhetoric.com. They've listed what they say are the 100 greatest speeches, and they date back to the early 20th century up to modern times. I would challenge you to listen to several of them. Pay attention to the introduction, pay attention to the transition, and listen to how our style has changed. One of the things that I want you to do is just to have a conversation with us. Be natural in the way that you speak. Think about your TED Talks. They weren't trying to be anything more than someone that was having a conversation, because that's really what you want us to do. You want us to join in a conversation with you.